Actually, that's a great time for him to go grab his cat. Fantastic choice there, fucking Billy boy. Great move. What am I doing? Oh, I'm going to get my cat. 20% more damage. Heck yes. Or should I say hack yes? There's a bunch of doors downstairs. Whoa! Okay, no, it's just Reem.
Someone said.
You. I don't know. Are we gonna try?
Yeah, let's do it. This ain't working.
Oh my god.
Instant party wipe.
I don't think you can kill them.
Yeah, you know
if you
what?
can kill them, I don't know.
Marine, did you get out? Where are you at?
No, Caleb locked me in.
He locked you in?
Yes.
Oh, he really did, didn't he? Bro, this turret's so annoying.
I guess I'm gonna go look for the fire exit.
That was so crunchy, dude. Oh my
Sorry.
god.
Do we want to buy?
Oh, there's two turrets over here.
Something else is moving?
Bro, there's so many fucking turrets!
There's something is moving?
Fucking what?
We're full up, so we're going back. We abandoned Reen, unfortunately. Oh! Jesus Christ!
Fucking Christ.
Okay, here we go. This is the cool thing. This is the cool thing. There's a huge one right here. I think you're right. We might
There's
have
a
to
mine.
be fast.
Oh! Me neither.
I literally
That's
heard
too bad, isn't it?
That was actually funny as hell when it, That's... Okay.
Oh, it's raining! Yo, Reen, jump.
That's almost good as a horn.
Oh my god, big
Yo,
shit!
we summoned pumpkins. The pumpkin
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah!
Oh.
Oh god.
Cool.
Don't you late weasel me, you little miss. I'm gonna use the weekend to make my stream better. Kinda yikes, if you ask me. I didn't really like, I don't have any of this planned for, why is this gotta be this way? Why is like the side of this all fricked up? What is going, brother? On God? What the hell is even happening? Why do I have a, get this out of here. Jesus, man. There we go. And the ratio thing is unlocked, and oh my god, it's, I know, I'm getting to the stuff, I'm getting to it. I'm a professional streamer, I know how to you know what, I'm just not gonna worry about it. Let's do that for now, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have a plan for what I'm doing here, so you'll have to bear with me a little bit. Okay, so we got a hydrate, a howdy hydrate, and then a regular hydrate. I'm out of water. Okay, so we have a couple of options here. Oh my create. Howdy. Howdy, Sive. Hello, let's see. Mr. 8, Vanillus, Creed, Amelie, Sive, me. Welcome everybody. This is a very unplanned, last night I made the poll for what people wanted to see, and it didn't originally have game design and chatting on there, and then I deleted the poll and then re-put it up and added that to it, so I guess the people want to see that, but I did not really plan ahead what all that would entail. So yeah. Yo, is this a coding stream? It is not a coding stream. It's specifically not a coding stream. It is a design stream, kind of. The council has decided? Yeah, I guess, dude. Making of Coinomancer too? Nah. Okay, also one other thing I wanted to ask. We have two options for how this this stream can go. Hold on. Would I rather have it zoomed out a bit? Yeah, maybe. There's two ways that this stream could go. One, we're drinking regular water. As promised, topless Baldy. Anyways, his top is less. Yeah, that's true. So we've got two options here. One, I can drink normal water, or two, yesterday I got some apple pie alcohol from my grandfather. It's it essentially tastes like apple cider, but it is like 150 proof. I could drink that as well. So it's either that or water. What a time to come in. Hey, what's going on, Matcha? How's it going? 10 out of 10. All right, you know what? I'll put up a poll. Question. Sober or drunk? Get blasted? Stay sober. You've got 5 minutes. Yo, what's up, gamer? Hey, what's going on, Wee? Sober? Drink nothing by your grandpa's power cider. Well, let's see how the poll goes. Be sure to vote in the poll. For now, I'm just like kind of just like hard vibing. I'm drunk, so you should also drink. Is that how that works? Okay, so would you guys like to hear game ideas? Would you like me to go through? Okay, we got a couple of options here. Let me install when I exit. Okay, we got a couple of options here. Let's I want to move this over actually a bit. So, Drunk Bazaar stream, no comment, but it could happen. So we got options here. We got one, my newest idea. We got 2, my most developed idea. And we got 3, my first game idea. What do you guys think? Let me guess. Oldest idea? Okay, fuck you. He knew. Let it be 8. You know what? 1, 2, 3, 8. Egan's choice. 2, most developed idea. Okay. Actually, there's a, there's another one in here. Most developed code-wise. Most developed idea-wise. Okay. I vote 8. Okay. Step 1, make Doom Crossing Eternal Horizon. Step 2, ... Step 3, profit. That's not a bad idea, to be fair. We got half the time left on this poll. So what are you guys thinking? We can it's a song in the background, it's very familiar. It is from To the Moon. It is the song For River, Johnny's version extended. Here, I will put a link to it in the chat. It hopefully it's not like too loud or anything like that, but if you haven't played To the Moon, I would highly recommend it. To the Moon, very sad game. I played it like 10-12 years ago. But I thought it was really good. It's about this company that lets you I have it plays at the end. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Like right at the end. And maybe right at the beginning too. Basically it's a game about a company that sells the ability when people are at the end of life to go in, and if there's things that they regret not doing with their life, essentially they go in and change their memories so that they remember that they did that even if they didn't. And it's well, it's game existed 10 years ago. Wow, yeah, I know, it's crazy. But the game is very good. It's you get hit very much with the sounds very depressing. It is very depressing. It's very real. I can remember the Weasel stream I missed, Pog. Yeah, I mean, you could. I think it's probably pretty expensive, but they also have other games in the series. Let's see. So this is the game. You can't really like zoom in on this, huh? Is there a way that I can... I don't know. Either way, so this is the game. The gameplay, or the... Sober, drunk poll ended. Okay, I'll look at that in a second. So the actual gameplay itself is like this pixel art stuff. It's really good, but co-composing the soundtrack is amazing. I feel like I should know who this is. Well, I mean, I know it's her that did this, but I feel like I should know. Oh, she did Plants vs. Zombies stuff. Oh, everything's all right. Oh no. Ah, we looking to cry out here over random songs. We go To the Moon. Everything's all right. Piano. Hopefully this one doesn't have words on it. I'm like a little concerned if it does, because it's gonna make me very sad if it does. Anyways, so this is what the game looks like. It's very you kind of go through the different stages in this guy's life and learn things about him. And you go through and you can go to different memories, and you have to kind of rearrange things that would lead him to the point where he remembers becoming an astronaut and going to the moon. She also sang "Don't Forget" from Deltarune. Holy moly. She's goated with the sauce. Why can't I see what the poll results are? View results. Get blasted 4-2. Okay. I'll be back with my piss jug. Enjoy your sad music. Hello. I'm back with my jug of piss. Hydrate? I got you. Boobs or butts? It's boobs for sure for me, but I like a nice ass. Anyways. So I've got anhydrate. Okay. What ended up, what did we go with for options here? Did anybody have a strong idea on what they wanted to see? Boobs here too? Hell yeah. We love a nice boob. Check this out. Nice. Holy moly, weekend stream? Yeah. And we're talking about game design development stuff. Obese, since you haven't been here in a while, if you had to choose one of these options for me to like kind of go over, what would you choose? Newest idea, most developed idea wise, my first game idea, most developed code wise, or Mr. 8's choice? What are your thoughts? I would like to listen to something not omega depressing, I guess. Listen to this. Your favorite idea? Boobas. Might be the same as 2. I don't know. My favorite idea changes day to day. There we go. This guy has multiple different game ideas. I do have a decent few game ideas. So, newest idea? No name. Most developed idea wise? Songbird. First game idea? Needle beans. Most developed code wise? Unnamed Vampire Survivor game. Favorite idea? Might also be Songbird. I don't know. And then Aiden's Choice, whatever. Change stream category to paint.net. The number 2 I choose. Okay. Never mind. You had me at beans. I choose needle beans. Okay. You think songbirds are angry with hummingbirds for not knowing the words? I don't think they're allowed to be angry with them, at least not in public, because hummingbirds have fucking swords attached to their face. So. Okay. We can go over needle beans. So this is not what I wanted. I don't even know why I'm going through this effort to like put shapes around this. Okay, there we go. That's where we're at. Hummingbirds, cousins call them hummingbirds. Creed, I can't delete that message because you're a moderator. You're so fucking lucky. Are you gonna flesh out a game design doc? I started one like 5 months ago and then realized that documentation is not fun. Well, I have one for Songbird. But I don't really, I kind of have one for, I have one for 2. I have one for 2 and I have one for 4. So I got you, boo. Creed deleted Creed's message. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're a good mod. Anyways, we'll talk about needle beans. Let me see if I've got some stuff from needle beans still on my computer. Essentially, the idea behind it. Maybe I'll just like, maybe I'll see if I can open it in here. You guys can see some of the pictures that I have on here. Wow. This is my YouTube stuff. So I don't know if I have any. Yeah, I'm not sure I have it in this stuff. I might have to search. Sexy Tavern Maid Simulator with PNG quality lewd images. Not a bad idea. Actually, would probably make more money than like every one of these other ideas. But you know how it is. What do I need some background music. Video game OST mix. Best video game music playlist ever. Okay. We can go with that. It is a brave man that trusts his download folder to the stream. That's not my download folder. That's just my pictures folder. There's a big difference. But I gotta go back to... I gotta go farther back. I know, Leonard. You're fine, though. You gotta trust me on this one. What did... Something has changed? No? Okay. Oh, this is the wrong... I think I gotta go to E. What's going on, Len? Why are you so sad? Okay, here. I know where to go now. We go to E. We go to users. God only knows if any of this is gonna get me like hacked, but Jesus Christ. Give me this one. So this is this is where I was at last time with this. Oops. There we go. No, not that color either. There we go. That'll work. If the people that made King Kong, that King Kong game with the PNG enemy can call that could make a fucking $1 million idea. Fair enough. You got me there. It was a Golem like. I'm gonna make a parody game called Beetle Needs. That sounds like a porn game. I'll be real with you. Anyway, so the idea behind that, these are the sprites. The idea is that you kind of like fly around like a map. And so let me pull up another page. What was that one that I had up earlier? So are you guys aware of Balloon Fight? So this is what Balloon Fight looked like essentially. So the idea, hydrate, I got you. So the idea is that replace, for one, this is going to be a couch co-op game idea, or couch competitive, I guess. A couch-based game, I suppose. Oh, God. I don't want to fucking listen to Skyrim. There we go. So the idea is make Repo, Lethal Company, content warning, like social slop game, and somehow become a millionaire off that, because apparently that's what gaming is now. To be fair, those games are kind of dank. I'll buy you a couch. Can I still play if I don't own a couch? Yeah. So essentially replace this guy, like the main character guy. Imagine it's like you're on like a map similar to this, but there's 4 of you, or 2 to 4, I guess. And replace this guy with these like little beans. It's like a bean with a needle coming out of it with wings. Basically, you would press A repeatedly to like kind of flap up and down. And then the idea is that you'd have like, you could hold down another button to have like a charge mechanic. So you go, and then you yeet in the direction that you're shooting. You kind of try to, if you hit the other person's needle, essentially, you bounce back from each other. So you're trying to hit their bean. I was going to have a few different kinds of beans in here that you can play as. That like for maybe there's one that's just like really big. Or maybe there's one that's really small, that kind of stuff. Competitive Flappy Bird, a little bit, yeah. Content warning is a little more on the slop side in my head. For some reason, but Lethal and Repo are sick. Content warning also had, they gave it away for free. I think if it was a little bit more randomized, I don't know, it could have been better. Either way. So that's kind of like the idea. I don't like have I wonder if there's a way I can pull up like a Balloon Fight map. Oops. So let's just copy this. So imagine we've got this, right? Only allowed charge movement and make it a bullet hell where you fight balloons, so you can only move by charge jumping. Interesting idea, but this was supposed to be against other people. You should put a pay-to-win lima bean that is mostly transparent. I don't know about that one, but maybe. Oh, I didn't know it was free. Well, okay. Keyword, it was free. They gave it away free for 1 weekend, so that's how a bunch of us got it, but now you have to pay for it. What about a golf element where you hold charge to charge a meter while angling the mouse to choose the direction plus rebound off solid objects? Yeah, that's basically what it was going to end up being. So if I go into here, give me this guy. Okay, but like I wanted the background to be transparent. So could you just like be transparent, perhaps? Is that so much to ask for? There we go. Okay. So essentially, like, imagine you're on like a stage like this. You got a few dudes like this just like flying around. Something like that. You kind of, when you charge up, you yeet into them, kind of bounce off. Where's the selection? Edit. Invert selection. Okay, didn't do anything, but sure. Whatever. Let's grab the other one then. I don't care. So imagine you're like this one, for example, is why is it like such a dead space at the end of this song? What the hell's going on? StarCraft 2 Terran 1. Fruit StarCraft 2 Terran 1. There's StarCraft 1. So you kind of like, you would hold a button, say you're this one. You hold a button and you start flapping a bunch of, and then you shoot in the direction that you're facing, essentially. But you kind of like it to angle it however you want. And then you yeet off in that direction. Can we add DLC to give the hummingbird cat ears? Well, so the original idea was going to be like jousting. Yeah, exactly like jousting. This was a very simple idea that I was working on. Since this was the first one. Do we need a paint subscription to play this game? You do, actually, yeah. So sorry about that. But essentially, there was also an idea that I was going to be like, hey, one of the characters has like a, I don't know if you guys have played, you guys have probably played Smash Bros before, but in Smash Bros there's a Jigglypuff skin, at least in Melee, that has like a little like green headband thing. I was thinking about putting that on as well. I thought it might be neat for one of the characters. So what about if you hit other birds, it starts spreading blood, where the blood lands become slippery terrain? Is it paint exclusive? It is, yeah. From slippery terrain. Well, so let me back here. So like this stuff here, and maybe let me use red. This like ground here, it kind of just like I imagined it as like you kind of hit it and you like kind of bounce a little bit and go boom, boom, and just like kind of slide a little bit. Since most of the action would be in the air, and I was thinking it was more of like a one hit, one kill kind of a thing. So you hit them and they basically explode and drop their little needle, and then they respawn somewhere else. Literally my most played character in Smash. You're a sick man, Vanillus, or Vanillus. I still don't know if I'm saying it right. That does sound like a U character though. I don't know what it is, but it does sound like a U character. $420.69 month subscription to Needle Beans, but you do get a free loot crate for different colored beaks. It's true. I'm in. You Jigglypuff causes cancer? That could be. I just call him Vinny or Vin. I asked him one time if I could call him Vinny, and he said no. Does give Jigglypuff energy. It's true. He's an optimization kind of man. I'm a snake main. I can't be talking. That's also incredibly true. Never told me off, so I'm assuming I'm right. Well, they told me off. What the fuck? Anyways, so I imagined it like you hit the other bean, and then you kind of get like this little pop. Essentially like in Balloon Fight. The these are all just maps, but maybe there's a picture of one of the balloons popping or something here. Where's that YouTube video? Okay, so you know what's the button to go back a few frames? This. So you know, like this little animation here, when he hits the bubble and it pops like this. I was assuming it was gonna kind of look something like this, and then so the bean part, the brown part pops, and the wings go away, and or maybe the wings like float to the ground, and the needle like goes and falls down and clanks to the ground, and everybody has like 3 lives or something like that. Kind of like have you ever seen Samurai Gun? And Sai will like this one. Let me go to Samurai Gun. Just give me some maps. So, okay, not exactly what I was going for, but sure. So this is like one of the maps from Samurai Gun, and you can start in like these little parts that are darker here. So I'm thinking that this is what it would end up being for this kind of a game. Essentially kind of think of it like a game like that's structured like Samurai Gun, but controls like Balloon Fight, I guess. And if you beat someone 3 times in a row, you do get their mom legally. You know, that is written into the contract probably. What about the needle becomes stuck in the ground? If you hit it with your bird, it kills you. It's actually kind of not a bad idea. That would make it more hectic, yeah. That might be an option that you can like toggle on and off. Would maybe be something cool. I'm not sure, but I do like that idea. Quite a decent bit actually. That's cool. So yeah, that's kind of the idea I had for that game. I think I maybe at one point made a playable demo for it. Well, playable is maybe a bit of a stretch, but what are the odds I ever actually like made it? You know, missing projects, great. Oh, because they got moved to my desktop. Yeah. Okay, well, whatever. Maybe the needle flies off in the opposite direction to where it got hit, so it can become stuck in a wall, so you can be bumped into it if you both hit each other. See, that's not a bad idea. So you end up with like, here, let me copy this. We're back into paint, boys. So for example, you end up with something like, oops, that is the Windows key. End up with something like, oh, was I on the wrong layer? I was. So you end up with something where they're like sticking into the ground like here or something like that, and you can bump into them. That's not a bad idea. Please add a fishing mini game to it. Might have to be a spear fishing game, to be honest. Let's go back over here. This is like the least optimal way to like list things, but so we've got so you've got these are just like ideas. Okay, so here's our ideas right now. Beak sticks into ground, becomes an obstacle. Spearfishing. Bonus points for spearfishing. We game deving? Kind of. We're kind of game deving. We're not, we're kind of more so just like talking about, I had people choose what they wanted to hear about because they voted for like game design stream stuff, so. Meanwhile, I'm also drinking a giant jug of piss. Do you have multiple beans or just the one? You mean like have art done for them, or what do you mean? Both birds launch at the same, or at each other at the same speed and time is equal or within a certain range. They bounce off each other with the slower build being bounced back farther. Yeah, so that's what the idea was, is it would all be momentum based. So for example, in here, let's go back to, so for example, this one is moving this fast. This one is, okay. Can I have my pencil, please? Okay. Didn't want my pencil anyways. Bro, why, what? Why am I getting scammed? Anyways, so imagine they, do I have like not one of these like fully selected? What is going on here? When the beans launch, they fart to propel themselves. No, they have wings. Essentially, so, yes, Shavarath. Okay, your idea is kind of what I was thinking. So, for example, the one on the left is coming in faster than the one on the right. So then that one, when they hit each other, assuming they hit like beaks, they hit like the beak section here, they both bounce back. Proportional to how much or how fast they were coming in. However, that's where I was thinking about having like potentially different beans. So like maybe one is bigger but gets knocked back less, that kind of a stuff. But maybe they're easier to hit like the non-bean part. Who knows? I don't know. Hello, SpiritWeasel. Hello, Project Darklight. What's going on? Yep. Red Shavras. Add a parry mechanic and an anti-parry mechanic. That might not be bad. I'd like to get like the first initial like kind of easier stuff done first, and go from there. But I haven't worked on this in a long time. What kind of beans are these? They are needle beans. Imagine you're just like a standard bean. You shove like a push pin needle through it and give it wings. There you go. That's what we got. Coffee, they could be coffee beans. The different skins and different types of beans would probably be named after actual beans, yeah. I just realized that these are beans, not just cursed hummingbirds. I mean, they're essentially cursed hummingbirds that are shaped like beans. Hence the name needle beans. Coffee beans charge faster but move slower. It's not a bad idea. I actually like that idea a lot. I don't know how you would differentiate like other kinds of beans, like, oh, this is a pinto bean. What do fucking pinto beans have? I don't know. Are they categorized by how fast they are? I don't know. Nothing much, just wanted to see if any of my friends was on, and here you are. I am here, yeah. Baked beans, it's true. Can I have a baked bean so I feel at home? Yeah, baked beans can be British and they have a monocle. Here, we'll go into this one. go up here. I'll give you we'll make your baked bean right now. Where is there's like a line tool in this son of a bitch, isn't there? Oh my god, it's huge. I'll like do that. Excuse me? Where's my other line? Whatever. Do that. Okay. Howdy. There you go. There's your British bean. Yo, howdy, Mar. What's going on? Can you put a G-string on the bean like in my favorite game, Bean Battles? No. Similar to a game I was a part of. Hey, nice. Pinto beans have a hole in them that the needle can't hit. Interesting. Bad beans are 10% likely to not launch in the direction you face, but instead go backwards. Wouldn't that just be like not one that you want to play? Racist bean I've ever seen in my life. It's got a monocle, man. Yellow cute. Yeah, it's basically what monocles are, to be honest. Chat, does he know this is how I dress when outside? I figured it's how you dress when you eat beans at the very least. I mean, British slang would be Heinz bean and tomato sauce. It's kind of based. Looks like he drinks a bottle of water every day. That's what I'm saying. What the fuck is this? Okay, Mar, you have come in. We were, I gave options to people for what game design they wanted to hear about that I've got. So they went with needle beans. And so needle beans is essentially, if I'm sure you're probably familiar with the game Balloon Fight. It's kind of like this, but imagine the guy that you play as is one of these beans that that can fly around, but it's the same kind of movement. But instead of having to land on top of people, you can like stop and kind of charge up your needle and then like choose a direction that you want to go in. And you launch in that direction to kind of pop somebody else. Is the idea. It'd be a couch competitive game, I guess. So it was kind of like, I was also comparing it to to Samurai Gun. So the maps would be kind of like this, where you've got some spawn points and different things, and so we were just going through that. That was the idea, anyways. Fuck, he knows about our bean suits. I know more than I want to know. My friend's kid could actually wear a monocle. He has 20/20 vision in one eye and basically legally blind in the other. That's you know, unironically, that's very similar to me, except that I'm legally blind in both eyes. Make one that carries a teddy bear and call it Mr. Bean. Okay, before we get too deep into different bean types, have you thought about jelly beans where you ricochet off the wall? Well, so we were talking about this earlier. Essentially, if one bean is eating itself at the other, okay, but now I can draw again. I don't know why I couldn't before. So one bean is yeeting itself, for example, this one is shooting itself at this one, and this is their speed differential. That means that this one that gets hit will fly back farther than this one. Only moves back a little bit, and they like kind of bounce off of shit. What's the end goal here? We have the mechanic, but what are we fighting for? Bean supremacy. Don't stifle our creativity. We want to bean stream the bean bowl. I think you guys are, I'm more, okay. So I know that this is not what you want to hear, but if we go back to the name, I'm more interested in the needle part than the beans part, and more interested in the bird section and the needle section than the rest of it. So we're getting a little deep into beans here, into bean territory. Oh, this is a game about beans. Okay. Add a parry mechanic and oh yeah. You had said that and I forgot to add it to our list here. Which of course is a list made in Paint, so it doesn't really work super great, but parry and anti-parry. The beans have little eggs they must protect because they're bird-like and they got a family to feed. That's also true. Maybe it's just like a blood sport. Not much to think about in terms of the needle. Well, we have the beak breaks or sticks into the ground and becomes an obstacle when you kill things, and spearfishing. Those are both needle-based activities. Same with parry and anti-parry. Hold on. I'm falling behind here. Yo, hey, Hypnotic Fox Twitch. Hello, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Can everybody give like a warm welcome to them? I guess. I don't know how you do that, but go ahead. I'm slightly behind here. Are you creating the list in paint.net? Yeah, I am for some reason. Why are the beans fighting? It's just like a blood sport. Other than green needle. It means they have a nest they can call a homestead. It does mean that. So instead of beans, are there different kinds of needles? I think they would. Thank you, Obese. So I think in terms of how it would work is they would kind of like there'd be this standard bean, and then maybe there'd be one that's like similar to this, but maybe it has a. Okay, once again, I can no longer draw using the pencil for some reason. Be right back.
I'm just so bad. For clarity's sake, I don't want any one of you to say a fucking word about it. So anyways, as I was saying, I imagine that we could have some beans that are just like a longer needle or something like that. But maybe it's it takes them longer to charge up, or they're more unwieldy, stuff like that. But I haven't thought too much about different bean types. Does mom just punch him? No, she just scared me. Imagine walking into your grown-ass son's room. He's talking about beans fighting each other. It's not just my room, Shavrath. It's my entire house. It's not just my room. She had to break into my house and then walk over here into my room
my office to scare me. And this would have been fine, but I got these new headphones that have noise canceling, so I didn't hear shit until she was right behind me. It was... Ugh. Maybe one's
just so bad.
Fuck you. Maybe one is like a swordfish. Has a sword as the beak. I mean, they've kind of already got that. I like where your headspace is at, but what would make that one different, like, mechanically? What would make that one different mechanically? I mean, swordfish are fast, so maybe you have to charge up for less time to launch farther. But maybe you don't knock people back as much. Or maybe you have a longer recovery time. I like to... Oh, one other idea that I had is, so, like, I was thinking if you're charging someone, right, and you miss, similar to this, I would imagine you get, like, kind of stuck in the wall. It takes you, like, a second to get back out. She walked all the way across the estate from the main house to the chicken shack you live in. It's not a family estate. Not a family estate. Beat me to it. Criminal mom based. Well, by criminal, I mean, instead of walking in my front door, she just walked in my garage door, which isn't locked. Security chimp to guard your door and no one... I don't know about that one. She walked all the way across the street. Like a power-up that makes them shoot their needle... a one-time distance attack. How do you get your needle back then? If you do that distance attack, what would you... Because one of the ideas we had is that, like, these... Let me change this to red again. Is like that these, after you kill someone, their beak kind of gets stuck in the ground and then it becomes an obstacle. So what do you do with the distance attack? How would you get your needle back? It's like throwing your sword in Nidhogg, but you have to, like, go find another one and, like, go directly to this point here to connect to it. It's not a bad idea. One of them has a longer needle. If they face off, the longer needle would be able to hit the one in the belly if the other's aim is off. That's true. But you have to, like, think of positives and negatives to each of them, because otherwise, if you want only positives for them, they all have to be, like, I don't know. The balancing is going to be weird, but maybe I don't really care about balancing that much. I don't know. It's not a family estate. His family just owns the whole state of Ohio. I got that Ohio Riz. You got to charge your face back into the needle. Would that be a universal mechanic, or would that be like a bean specific mechanic? Like one of them would just have that ability. I'm not sure. It's an interesting idea, though. Are you shooting crystallized bean goo? No. Just this is a whole. Well, it's kind of crystallized bean goo. Nidhogg idea or a cooldown. It shoots, breaks upon contact, then you're like 5 seconds fucked if you miss. Yeah. Okay, so I think if it regrows, I think I would prefer that as like a bean specific one. Like a specific bean has that power. Maybe a specific character gets that one. I'm not sure. Smaller needle could be thrown, but in a head-on collision loses. Longer needle is better in face-on collision, but can't be thrown. So here's another idea. I think bean specific would be better. Feels bean specific. Yeah, I see that. It's kind of what I'm thinking too.
You could have it more focused around parrying as a main selling point, so you can go for the kill, but if your opponent just goes down slightly and then goes up into your needle, they can detach it or something. That kind of goes into this parry and anti-parry mechanic, I suppose, right? That's an interesting idea. Okay, so here's another idea that I was just thinking of, right? I have a cursed idea for the British bean. Oh, great. Sure, hit me with it. Hit me with it while I explain what my other idea is. So, I was thinking, maybe instead of specific beans, what if I had like your character is defined by, like, you choose a bean body, and then you choose a specific needle you want, and then you choose the specific wings you want. Or we just do like, or maybe we just do specialized characters. I'm not sure. Do you think it would be better to be able to customize whatever bean body you want, whatever needle you want, and whatever wings you want? Kind of like, yeah, kind of like Mario Kart. Or do you think it would be better where it's just like the pinto bean has these specifications? Sorry, Mario, you had an idea. Let me... Are the beans going to move, or are they going to follow your cursor, or are they left, right facing the whole time? Here. So let me go back to the balloon fight example. So you see how they move in balloon fight, where you like tap A and then you can kind of like flap up. So that's the idea for the movement. And then you would hold down, like, I don't know, like maybe B, and then you stop in place and you flap really quick, and then you can kind of rotate and choose a direction to like launch in the direction of. So that would be how the movement would go. By move, I mean specifically how their faces follow your cursor. I was thinking of it more as a controller game, to be honest with you. So you'd use like, where's my controller? So for example, you would just like move around with one of these sticks, and then like maybe for this one, you can like choose the direction you're gonna like launch in. So if you want to launch one direction, you just hold this direction, kind of a thing. That was the idea. I mean, keyboard and mouse controls would probably be fine too, and then just like make it the direction that your cursor is in, I guess. I don't know. I hadn't really thought about that part too much. Every time British beans beat another bean instead of dying, he just colonizes them. How does bean colonization work? Momentum-based pairing system. So we kind of talked about that. It's not exactly... I don't think it's exactly what you're talking about. But up here, we were kind of showing the example of, for example, two beans are shooting at each other. One of them, it had more time to charge, and so is moving faster than the other one. They would kind of bounce off of each other proportional to which one's moving faster, kind of a thing. It was the idea. There could also just like be a button for parrying, which maybe wouldn't be so much like they lose their, maybe not like Nidhogg parrying where you lose your sword, but maybe just like they get bounced back and you don't go anywhere. They're like stunned for a second or something. That might be a decent idea. I'll have to flesh that out a little bit more. Let's see. So if they fire their needle at you, can you swipe it away or deflect it back at them? Yeah, like with the parry, that might work. I need to catch up on all this stuff. What about if different classes, if they have, example, a longer needle, they have a longer cooldown on being able to parry and attack, and once you parry, the needle starts blinking on cooldown. Yeah, that could work too. I think they'd have to have different stats, right? So just figuring out what those different stats would be is kind of an interesting idea. I think customize is more interesting. You mean like the like the body, needle, wings kind of a thing. I kind of like that idea more too. I think your headspace is in the right spot. Idea 5 on paper sounds cool, but 2 things would be an issue balancing nightmare unless you want it to be silly as fuck and lots of work to implement it correctly. Yeah, so that's also where I was thinking, since this would be kind of the whole point of this one was going to be that it was like kind of a more simple game. It might not be. So here's the thing. It might not be that bad to actually implement. Because since these are pretty goddamn simple, like you can just take this gray part off and change it, and you can take the wing part off and change it, and the rest of it can basically stay the same. It might not be too bad, but it also wouldn't be something I would know how to do immediately. But it would make it more complicated. I think it would make it more fun, but maybe you're right. Maybe getting the main goals down first would be better. Personally, I'd rather it be set classes. Oh, wait, hold on. I'll get to that in a second, please. Okay, never mind. I am at that part. Personally, I'd rather it be set classes, if you will. Feels like too casual a game to get into loadout customization like that. That's fair. That seems reasonable. Yeah, maybe it starts out with classes, and then maybe there's like just like a mode that you can do whatever kind, and maybe you just add it later. Yeah, build that foundation first and keep iterating. It's not a bad idea. Well, there are curses that can work on controller too. Left stick, move, right stick, position your beat right. Are you locked into the direction when you start charging? No. I think when you start charging, you can still like choose direction, but I'm not sure if I want it to be like full 360 direction. Or if I like, can it be you can go any direction, or do I want it to be more like when you start, you kind of have like maybe something more like this range that you can choose from? I don't know. I haven't decided that part yet. I think 360 was the original plan, but I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. Other hydrate. I'm running out of this quick. Movement should have momentum so you don't instantly stop on a dime. Correct, yeah. So back to the balloon fight thing. You can see when they're moving around, he like, okay, well, he died, but see how you like, you have momentum so that you can't just like instantly turn around, but like flapping faster can help. And I like how that movement works a lot. So I think that would be kind of what I would end up going with. Different bodies with heavier or light weights could be interesting in different beak lengths. I don't know how wing customization would affect things. Yeah, wing customization is something that I was not entirely sold on. Like, it could just be bean size is more like your weight, so like how much knockback you would get, and then maybe wings are like, for example, some of them have better handling, like we were talking about with momentum, right? Maybe some of them make you move way faster side to side, but then you can't stop and slow down as much, or something like that. Or maybe some like don't move as fast, but they're much more like handleable, I guess. But that would be like kind of the only option. But it would definitely be something to try and figure out. A button would be much easier to code, but way more limiting in terms of possibility. Which part are you referring to with that, Mar? I think it could be a King of the Hill type game where you infinitely respawn, but you need to stay in the middle or something. So that would lend itself to fast gameplay. I could definitely see putting in both of those kinds of modes. One where it's just like you have King of the Hill, unlimited respawns, and one where you've got like more of like a party game where you've got like X amount of lives kind of a thing. Give it a 20-hour cutscene, story heavy, 80% cutscene campaign. That would be a good idea. I just have to figure out how to work it out, you know. I think when you're charging, it should be limited up and down like you're gliding. Up and down like you're gliding. I'll have to think on that one. No charge cancel. Once you start charging, you can't stop it. Right. You can only stop charging by letting go of the button to yeet yourself. And I think if you like bounce into a wall, you like kind of bounce off like you would from hitting a character. What is that yellow pea you're sipping on? My grandfather made some apple pie. So Everclear and apple cider, essentially. I've been told it's like 150 proof, but I'm not really feeling a whole lot right now. We also made Mar narrate the game. Interesting idea. 20 hours story audiobook. When you set a button for parrying. Oh, I see. Yeah. It would definitely be easier in terms of coding it. You're correct on that one. So this is gonna be like kind of a weird example, but so in Rivals of Aether 2, you can press a button and you kind of parry, it stuns the other person, makes you invincible for a little bit. So that's what my thought was, but there's like a certain window on it. But you're right, it is a bit more limiting in terms of what you can do with it. But I'll have to see. Okay, I just want to, yeah, just show me the damn parry. Whatever. You get the idea. Boo. Hey, what's going on, Pinky? Are you thinking of this single player or multiplayer, like it's more of an arcade level balloon fight or more of a spider heck kind of thing? Definitely more of a spider heck kind of a thing was the idea. I don't know how I would be able to make it interesting enough for single player. But yeah, it was gonna be more like here, maybe if you guys don't know what Samurai Gun looks like, let me show you Samurai Gun. So it'd essentially be like this, but with different movement mechanics. But it's couch competitive where there's just like people respawning all the time and it's like kind of kill each other, bounce around the map kind of a thing. I think this game technically has a single player, but I don't know if I've ever seen anybody like play it. So that's what the idea would be. So it'd be a pretty simple game. Let's see. So can you stab the wings and destroy them like the balloons? I don't know. I haven't thought about that. Only allow someone to aim within 60-degree angle of where their needle was facing when they started the charge. Okay, that's, yeah. So that was what I had to make a decision on, either between that and like the full 360. But I think that would feel more natural, I guess. Nathan makes that stuff, it's good. So that they all say before it hits. Also, will needle beans be compatible for Mac? Asking for a friend. It's a good question. Right now it doesn't exist at all, so maybe. I don't really know what it takes to make something Mac compatible, to be honest with you. So I'll have to see. You get analysis paralysis when I'm trying to make game docs like this and stuff. So need having chat around for idea generation or refinement. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I still don't know
like I haven't really started working on this one, so it's hard for me to really like put too many ideas down that I want to go with, you know? Yeah, but Rivals of Aether is way faster combat, plus they don't fly. Right. That's just where I was thinking of the idea for it, for the parry. Or at least that's where my first thought went to. Won my 5th Royal Trackmania match ever. Absolutely carrying the last map. Hey, hell yeah, Pinky. I don't know what that means, but I'm happy. What about a kind of dash parry mix where you need to dash to parry, but you can't back out of it, so it's kind of risky? And so do you mean you'd have like 2 dashes? Like one your normal like charge up and yeet yourself kind of dash, and then one that's more of like a parry one? Or would you use the I'm gonna need to start a friggin' design docs exclusively for the fucking parry system. I might just like skip parry system at first and implement it later, and just make sure all the movement and stuff works first. Not worry about it right now. Being able to damage the wings would be pretty cool actually, so you can either go straight for the kill or damage the wings, which limits their movement. So how exactly would that work? Would that just happen to be like, so if you hit the wings, they get like maybe pushed away or something, and then it like limits their speed or something like that for a while? That's not a bad idea though. That would put another aspect into if we were gonna do the different like if we were gonna go into here, for example, and it would bring another layer to like the wing customization, I suppose. Like for example, some wings are more susceptible to damage than other things like that. Limits their movement. I believe you need Mac yourself to be able to make games Mac compatible. I don't know if that's true. I think it would just be better to like for sure to test it and make sure it works, but I think there's ways built into certain languages that like automatically makes it so that things are it's abstracted enough basically so that when you put in like, oh, you press the Windows key to do something, it's abstracted enough that it accepts both the Windows key and whatever the Apple one is. But I don't know if that's true. Mac support is a bit difficult, but it depends more on the engine you're using. Okay, so for me, it would probably be Godot, maybe, but I don't know. I'd have to see. Just dodge. That's true. That was the original plan, was just to be to dodge. Yo, howdy, Silent Fox. What's going on? So the original thought would be to just dodge or dash back at them to kind of bounce yourself away. But if they've charged up a bunch, maybe the dashing at them isn't really going to work that well. I don't know. That's Weezer. It is Weezer. Hello, Xena. Hope you are doing swell. Hope you are feeling better as well. Think it'd last until death. It'd last until death. Is that a... Well, okay, so that's... If it lasted until death, that would be pretty interesting. Maybe if we, again, do like this wing specialization thing, maybe some wings can regenerate. Who knows? I don't know. I'm unsure. I thought you just need to talk about the game that's only in concept and triple the viewership of the average Dark Souls stream. Apparently I do. I don't know how that works, but sure. It probably also helps that I'm streaming during a weekend and during hours that both North American and European viewers can be around. I also think it'd be better generally if there were more combat options general instead of just charge. So I thought you could do like a jab, which is just like spearing your needle forwards, and a swipe, which is like a 60-degree swipe in front of you or you're facing, which is mainly used for parry deflection space. You might be right, but it's so let me put it this way. I don't need the game to be perfect, right? I don't need the game to be like the greatest game ever made. I just need to make the game. So right now, I want to keep it simple, essentially. Keep it simple, make it so that I can get something to be playable, so that I get some experience, and then we can refine it from there. So I think you're kind of right that right now only having like kind of the charge mechanic might make it a little, it doesn't have to be the greatest thing. This is like maybe like a $2 game at max. It's just like a game that you sit down, play a few rounds with your friends, and just like laugh and then move on to something else. Is kind of what we're going for here. This doesn't need to be like the next greatest hit. But Needle Beans 2, now we're talking. Bitches are close to crossing.
One scores 1 point.
Hey, thanks for the gifted sub. It's incredibly kind of you. Thank you, Obese. Enjoy your sub, Silent Fox. Bitches are close to crossing a line, so I'm 100% fine. Xena, I'm with you, but also I've got no idea what you're talking about. All right, like, do you mean bitches are like literally close to like sending you over the fucking line and you're gonna send someone? Or are you just saying it because it rhymes? You making a game? We're just like kind of talking about it, basically. Yes, the first one? Oh no. Are you, is it me? Am I the bitch that's gonna cross the line? I hope not. This game will be Needle Bean and the second game will be Needle Beans. Not a bad idea, actually. It's not you. Okay, thank God. I didn't think it was me since I haven't talked to you in like 3 days, but you know, whatever. Should be a gay bean. I'm gonna be honest with you, Obese. I don't think these beans have any concept of sexuality. So maybe. I don't know. I mean, if you want to be like, yeah, the one with the monocle is gay, go for it. They do in your heart? Okay, I support it. I mean, if this monocle bean is gay, by all means, send it. Third game would be Needle. Okay. All right, Mar. He's too lost in the sauce. Maybe you could make it rain power up somehow. So what would you, okay, let me write this down. So what would you have for power-ups though, right? So if you had like, which would be like what? Extra speed, mobility, knockback. I don't know. A shield maybe? It's not a bad idea. Also, one of the beans is racist and we were trying to fix that, but he is stubborn. Joke's on you, it's the same bean. All of the different things that you put into beans, they're all going into the multi-layered personality of the monocle bean. I think this is more of a simple approach, could be better for this game with simple mechanics and just a few power-ups. That was my first thought too, Hypnotic Fox. Obviously I want the game to be fun, but so if we go back to the example of Samurai Gun, right? The game is not complicated. There's a jump button, there's a shoot button, and there's a slash button. And that's like it. Like you do a lot with that. Like you can deflect the bullets with a slash. And if somebody slashes the same time you slash, you like bounce back. And you've only got one bullet and you get that bullet back when you kill someone, essentially. So it's pretty simple, but this game is fun as fuck, dude. This game is so good. A fourth game will be Needle Beansatron 3000, where we've gone too far. We need to, okay. before we think of too many sequels, we might need to finish one first. Maybe for power-ups, you could have a lightning bolt, which makes your next charge tag make you flash charge to where you're aiming instantly. Be instant charge. Would a time slow be fun? Because I know some games have like a time slow where you get like a little clock and then the time slows down for everybody else. I can't ever tell if that's like a fun mechanic or not. What about a power up to become giant, bigger projectile, but bigger hitbox? Could be a double-edged sword kind of a power up. So that's closer to an idea for one of the beans that I had actually, where one of the beans is just like bigger and he's got a bigger hitbox, but he takes way less knockback and he fucking yeets people when when they collide, stuff like that. So I think I would keep that idea kind of more to like a character level. That, if that makes sense. Only have, if it's only one shot, one opportunity, you have to capture the moment or let it slip. That's true. I have heard this many times. Time slows are never fun unless they're applied to everyone. Why don't you just make the sequels first? That's a good idea, actually. Just like have my first game I ever make be Needle Beans 2. People will be like, what the fuck? Where was the first one? I'll be like, there never was a first one. This is the first one. Going to do a time slow, it should only be for projectiles. Yeah, I guess before we figure that out, we'd have to figure out how exactly projectiles would work or how much we're really... Yeah, I'll have to figure out projectiles. Now you need sequels before you make the first one. Trust it's a smart strat. It might be. Should announce the second game first. Man, everybody apparently is all on this announce the second game first kind of train. Another power up you could have is a chain, where you send out a chain to the other player or closest if it's a 4-player party game. And that would either limit their movement, can't move away from you, or you can move the chain to move them, like throwing them up and down. Again, you might be thinking, again, not that it's a bad idea, but we might be thinking a little bit too complex for this game at this point in time. It feels like that would be, so I want this game to be easy enough to like code that I can actually make something playable, right? Because it's not technically my first game, but it's pretty goddamn close. These characters look cool. Thank you. I designed them myself. I actually made the monocle and the headband in like 5 seconds while we were talking about this. Also just be a rope where you just linked and can't move away from each other. Doesn't seem very much like a power up. How would the basic stages be? Like hazards, obstacles? Is it more open or more compact like Balloon Fight? So honestly, at this point, until the game is playable, I was like actually probably just gonna like steal essentially some concepts from a game like this. These beans are probably too big on this screen, but I think for the starter stages, I think they would be mostly just like a few platforms and like specific places that you could go. I don't know. I'm not sure yet if I want it to wrap around like it does in Balloon Fight. Like there's the stage where he's collecting balloons. Like here, you see how he goes from one side to the other. I can't tell if I like that or not. I think it'd make it very hard if you're like playing a PvP game to like really keep track of where people can come from. So I I might just have it all like blocked in. And also, if it's all blocked in, it would make it better for like the ricocheting off of things aspect. In my opinion, anyways. Are you able to go off screen and wrap back around to the side? If not, maybe a power up that allows that. I guess that is what we were just talking about. I mean, word wrap. It's not actually word wrap, but you get the idea. Maybe instead a lasso that drags them towards you and you can charge up a move in that time. I think I would, for right now anyways, I'd like to keep the not the knockbacks, the power-ups to just be like, they only affect your specific character, which means we probably take out time slow for now. And well, I guess more like global effects or like effects for specifically your character. Different mechanics like in samurai game thing. Yeah, for sure. The levels would have certainly different things going on with them. Like I think the idea of having some with like spikes that you can like hit people into would be kind of a neat idea. Should be a risk to picking up power-ups. Well, you do have to go out of your way to get them, I suppose, but power-ups, yeah, we'll have to think on that one. That was not part of the original idea. Not that that's like not a good idea, just that it wasn't something that I had thought of. Because a lot of these things I had thought of for long periods of time while I just like lay in bed trying to sleep. Element or environmental hazards too. Yeah, like I was saying, like the spike things. I'm saying things before I get to your guys' messages. Maybe a ghost pepper that lets you go through walls temporarily. Put that in there. Kind of like tunnels. Yep. Ghost pepper. Give them tiny bikinis for $5. You can get the DLC that removes clothing. Hold. Also, you keep it locked in, but it's like you go through the top tunnel, you must pop out through the top, maybe bottom tunnel through the bottom. Kind of like I know what you're talking about. There's a game that I'm thinking of in my head that I can't remember the name of that does kind of that same thing. There we go. Add anime titty beans. Maybe. What about enemies in the stage, like cans or monsters that try to attack the players, so they need to pay attention to the stage? There could be stages like that with like I was thinking initially for environmental hazards, it would be like spikes and stuff on walls that you can hit things into, but it wouldn't be bad. You could certainly have other things too, similar to that. It's an interesting idea. How do I? Oh fuck! What is going on? Don't take me back. Yo, guys. While talking about this, guess who lost a follower? It was me. Oh well. But you could have like even something like a little piranha plant thing that like reaches out to try and bite people. 2 lines away from turning into kiwis. Hell yeah, that's what we're talking about. Almost like Pac-Man. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. It's not the game I was specifically thinking of, but that is the same basic mechanic, yeah. Maybe for Every map in the game, it could have a screen border, like in speedrunners, that closes in on you and acts as a death barrier, forcing you to get closer and closer to the center for people that hide around the corners. So speedrunners is really fun. If you were doing a King of the Hill kind of thing, Mar, I think that would work, or it kind of already solves that problem. But it never really feels like it's a problem in Samurai Gun for people hiding around the corners. But I guess that could just be solved by map design though, right, too? Where it makes it so there's not really places to hide in the corners. This is different because you can fly. Right, but if they're hiding in a corner, right, and you like go to charge them, and you say example, you hit them with more force, they bounce back into the wall that they're like kind of at, and then they would bounce forward again and they're like stunned slightly. I think then you could just like take advantage of that and just like beat their ass so they can't just like hug a wall. I think just bringing the attention closer to the center is more fun anyways because it becomes more intense. I just don't want it to be so much like I don't want it to end up where it gets to like this tiny square and like it becomes less about stabbing the other person and more just like forcing them out of the specific spot. But maybe that's not a bad idea. We'll see how the gameplay actually ends up and then kind of maybe go from there. Like if it is too powerful to just like hang it around the corners, then we could probably implement something like that. I think it would be more fun if it was like instead of like a box that closes in, maybe just like sections of the map just like get spikes on them and then they just like occasionally just chunk and just like chunk in one section closer. I'm not sure. Think you'd have other ways to get them too, Ricochet, to think of it? Right. It's kind of what my thought was, but it's definitely something to think about, right? Because if it does end up that way, then it's going to be a lot less fun to play if people are just like vibing around corners and stuff like that. Okay, so we kind of went over needle beans. Let me ask you this. Do you want to keep talking about needle beans or do you want to go to one of these other ones as well? How is character health going to work? I think it would likely be one shot, one kill kind of a thing. We talked about this a little bit earlier. So, okay, these don't really have much of a popping animation, but there was like some bubbles that, yeah, so these bubbles, see when he hits one, they like kind of, they do this little pop animation. It's kind of what I was imagining. And then that's when their needle like goes flying somewhere and sticks into a wall, becomes a hazard, and their wings like float to the ground. Health would make the game feel way too slow since combat is going to be largely a bunch of pairing and planning. Yeah, that's a thought that I was, where I just kind of want it to be just like you hit someone once, they're dead. And that's where I'm a little conflicted on the wing part. It's like if we look at these character models, right? Obviously the wings are like kind of a big chunk, but they're going to be moving. Like every time you flap, they'll obviously go from up to down. So I almost wonder if it would be better to just not have a hitbox on the wings themselves. And just like have it on the bean and the needle. But I don't know. It just like, it might make them too big. Like if somebody's like flying next to you and you're flapping to get away from them and your wing like goes up and touches their needle. Oh, that might feel kind of bad. Who knows? Not me. Anyways, do you want it again, do you want to keep going on needle beans, or do you want to go with one of these other ones, or do you want me to actually like play a game? Yes, I think the wings could mess with things. Yeah, that might be a bit annoying. That's kind of what I was thinking. What's Egan's choice? I don't know. He just wanted to be number 8. So I put him on here at number 8. I don't know what his choice would be. But by all means, I can go over any of these other ones as well. Also, some of these, like this Vampire Survivors plus Animals one has like some sort of demo to it. Songbird has much more of a design document to it. And this newest idea one, it would be a bit more freeform like this Needle Beans one was. Could you explain the other ideas? Yeah, so the newest idea, it's more of like a... So... I was thinking it would be kind of more like a, I kind of want to make it like more of an old school okay, kind of game, kind of like the Pokemon TCG. But obviously not with Pokemon. But it would be kind of like a mix of that and like kind of the vibe of Inscription Act 2. I don't want... I just want like... So like this kind of a thing where you've got kind of stuff like this. It obviously wouldn't work quite like Inscription does, but kind of like this same look and vibe. Is the newest idea the one you contacted me about? It was, because I was really excited about it one day. But it could either be for that one or Songbird or Vampire Survivors plus Animals. The Vampire Survivors plus Animals one is kind of like, well, Vampire Survivors, but instead of like garlic and crosses and stuff like that, it'd be like, oh, I did have a name for this one actually. Frick. This one was, what's it called? Like, I don't know, like Evolution Lord or something. I don't know. Essentially, this one would be Vampire Survivors, but you like choose a base animal, like maybe you say you start as a rat or something like that, and that's got specific passives and a specific main attack, and then say you're like, oh, when you level up, you get like the choice of some passives, and it's like, I would like to develop giraffe hooves so you can move faster. Would be like kind of more the theming of it, but every X levels or something, you would get like a minor evolution, which would give you like an attack, I guess, like the like a garlic or like a Bible or like a whatever in Vampire Survivors. And then every bigger period of time, you'd have a major evolution, which would be like you would change from like your rat model to like say a turtle. So you would keep the passive that the rat had, but like lose your main attack for it, and then you would get the passive and the main attack for like the turtle kind of a thing. What are you supposed to do when no more games, because all of the games already exist and have been made? I'll just die. Well, I'll be dead before then? Yeah, fair enough. Minor evolution, WTF. It's called becoming an adult. Hey, what's going on, Emily? Like Spore, kinda? Yeah, a bit like Spore, yeah. It's kinda... Hey, fuck you, Dee. So this is kind of like that Cryptid Vampire Survivors game you played. A little bit, yeah. I'm ill. How are you? I'm not doing too bad, actually, which sounds better than how you are. I saw that you had like cold like stuff, something like that. I hope you feel better soon, because that shit sucks. Spore blew my mind when I was 12 years old when it came out. Yeah, it was also supposed to be a lot better than it ended up being. So yeah. Spore still blows my mind. Spore could have been way better. It's what was it? It was like the Spore Tech demo. Yeah. Oh god, the resolution's so bad. But it was so much more in depth and more like realistic back at this point, before it became like so cartoony, I guess. I'm struggling to breathe. Ha ha. Do not struggle to breathe. That's it's not ideal. Like, I mean, look at this. This is way more in depth than other stuff. Granted, you can barely like see what the hell's going on, but make a voxel game, maybe like Minecraft, but with much smaller cubes. Isn't that just like what Cube World is? I mean, granted, Cube World is abandoned, but is this not what it's called? I just want to see like some gameplay. It's like kind of this like RPG. Please, can I? It's like some gameplay. I don't need the backstory. Okay, well, there's backstory. Guess I should have known. But like this kind of stuff. Is the Beans idea inspired by Bean Battles? Never talk to me again. Cube World fucked itself. It really did. Never played Cube World. Well, it was looking like an incredibly promising game that that just like got abandoned, essentially. It was like some dude and his wife were making the game, and then the hype got too big for them, and then the updates started coming slower, and then they like did some things that the community didn't like about the game, and then the developers just disappeared off the face of the world and never came back. They had the brilliant idea to have literally all your shit be reset every time you enter a new area. It's stupid. Yeah. It seemed really cool when I played it originally. Then I just never went back to it. It's tough times out here. Acquire Leonard? She's not in her chair. My sweet girl is here. There she is. Wow. Say hello to the good people. I mean, cube's smaller than that, so it's almost natural. Len? Okay. You can go up in your chair if you want. Okay, you do not want. Whatever. Lee her sniff the mic. She did sniff the mic. Oh. Any quests or guidance or anything? You're just in a world. Yeah, it could have been good. I didn't hear it. That's not my problem. You didn't even redeem it. Okay. So again, we're just like kind of chatting. Is there any of these that you want to talk about?
Or would you rather I switch to just like playing a game? Oh, you didn't hear her sniff it. I thought you were talking about you didn't hear the howdy from the Howdy Hydrate. Songbird? Hey, let me see if I can actually pull up. Sorry, don't look at my email. Let's see if I can find where the actual design document for this is. It is not. This is the wrong account. Oh. Okay, so let me. Okay. Let's make sure that this is. Okay. Do you code an engine, in engine or from scratch, the low-level rendering pipeline? I definitely do in engine. Can't be bothered to use a chat GPT. I do. What? What are you talking about? I use Unreal. I've been mostly messing with Godot. I couldn't really tell you why, just because. More than anything. I need to know what you're telling me about Chat, or what why you're saying I use Chat GPT. Couldn't figure Godot out. Do you have a standard programming background? Or are you just like learning programming from scratch for game development? Don't have an albatross as a boss name? Well, okay, so these are just like ideas. The actual names themselves are not there. Godot? Yeah, Godot. Okay, so this one is more of a Wingspan inspired deck building roguelite. So we love, where's the T? It's at the end of the name. I don't think you do have to say it. Isn't it French? It was developed in Buenos Aires. So they don't like T's over there. I don't know. I've always heard it pronounced Godot, but no, I don't want to do that.
Godot. 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 Godot.
Just saying. I started programming 2 years or so ago in Unreal and just have started a new project, abandoned them halfway through. And that's where I am today. Fair enough. I went to college for programming. I don't know if that makes it easier. I've never used Unreal. I don't know what that's all like, but it's Argentina. Isn't that what I said? Roguelite? I thought it was a roguelike. There's a difference between roguelike and roguelite. To be honest, for most people, it doesn't actually make a difference. But technically, roguelites are the ones where you have like meta progression that goes through. There's a book called Waiting for Godot where you pronounce it like that. Oh, where you know. Godot, mate, I'm British. Or stage play, actually.
Yeah. I think it's good. Kinda. I prefer roguelites to roguelikes. Anyway, so if you don't know what wingspan is, since I already know where there's wingspan gameplay. So you go here, you've kind of got these like different lanes that you put birds into. So the bottom one is drawing cards, the middle one is laying eggs, and the top one is getting food. Essentially, you it's like kind of like you build an engine. So you would place a thing here. So you would draw these 3 cards. Then you would move it over to here and do whatever Violet Green Swallow says for you to do. Then do what Mallard says. Then do what Morning Dove says. Then do what Chiff Chaff does. And there's different strategies because all the birds like cost food and eggs and things like that. So the idea is that it would be like that, but instead of just like having all of the birds available to you, you have like a deck that you kind of go off of. It's similar to, it would end up similar to Face Hand. So where this is Face Hand, then you kind of like put 5 cards in a row here. Okay, buddy. So you put 5 cards in a row here, and they all like have synergies with each other, kind of a thing. So for example, in this one, this first guy, his thing is that he buffs everybody else, and then he's holding an item that also buffs everybody else. This guy gives experience to the one behind, and this one gives experience to all the guys in front of it. This one, whenever it gets hurt, gives a buff behind it, and this one, I don't remember what it does, but essentially, so it's all like just synergy based, right? So it just like a bunch of things happen, and you have to beat this enemy on the side here. From the name, I thought it was going to be like that Bard game, whatever it's called, the one where you have a guitar and you sing. Get out of here, man. Random cat here or something. Where you have a guitar and you sing it and it changes the world, the stuff in the world. No, not quite like that. Anyways, so that's kind of the idea. And then, so it's a lot of this stuff has changed from this originally. And it would have a Slay the Spire type map. You have different bosses, but so the idea is that you would fight a bird, and then after you fight that bird, you either have the option to use that bird in your deck or just get a random card or something like that. But you play them in a row to execute their effects. I think this part is not really in it anymore. It was going to make it, I think, a little bit too complicated. So originally I had... Actually, maybe I can just open it in here. So originally, this is kind of what the card looked like as just like a mock-up for it. So you kind of have, you have this name up here for it, the size bird it is, the art it is, what kind of nest it has. And so then if it's played like in the food row, and these are all just like examples. If it's played for its food effect, it gets +1 to your food. If it's played for the eggs effect, you get twice as many eggs. If it's played for the card effect, you get nothing, because it's not really a wetlands bird. Kind of things like that. And then there would be like a nest type picture here and a size picture. And then in the middle here, there was going to be a region thing. And this card design sucks. I think it's got too much going on with it, but your favorite bird? It is my favorite bird. I love the California quail. Hold on, I'm behind in chat again. No, I'm not. Hello, Alan. Hello. I don't like deck builders, so I'm going to sit this one out. By all means, I mean, you not liking deck builders means that you've got just as valuable feedback as everybody else that does like them. So it's something to consider. His name on Steam is literally Quail. It's true. Kind of nest it has a homestead. Kind of. What a nerd. Okay. Listen here, you little shit. Could you explain needle beans? I'm not going to go back to needle beans now. It's too late. How do you, just FYI, Spirit was making fun of British people? I was, yeah, but that shouldn't be surprising. Alan is pretending like it's surprising, but deck building's pretty fun. I do like deck building. So this is kind of what the initial idea was, that you'd have like 3 separate rows and then they'd go through. You'd be like, okay, I'm going to choose this round to do food stuff, and then you'd put food birds in there, kind of a thing. But where it ended up, this is a more recent one, where it just like has the one effect. So instead of having like the 3 different places that you can put things, Alan, did you just wake up? That does sound like something Alan would do, is just wake up now. You just have the one row that you can put them in. And this card design also kind of fucking sucks, is it's so goddamn cluttered. But up here in the top is like the cost. So it'd be like you get, or it costs 1 egg and like 10 food, whatever. And it's worth 8 points. So its effect is that it lays 3 eggs. This is the size, nest, and area, which would be more for like synergy kind of things. I missed the bird fact. Yeah, it's I liked this little part down here. It'll end up going back like in here or something like that. But so it would end up being like essentially the damage you do to the enemy would be based on this point amount up here. But these extra effects, for example, would be cool things like lay 3 eggs, since you need eggs to be able to play the birds, and you need food as well, stuff like that. I think the simpler way is more interesting. I do too, which is kind of why I scrapped more of the other idea. So mechanics, you'd have these bird cards. A lot of this is not super updated, I guess it looks like. So, and I was thinking, since it's a video game, you could have it to make this a little bit less complicated. For example, if it's going to be on a, like if you want to play it for its food thing, then it would just like, it would get rid of these other 2 rows and only show the food effect, but it's still kind of like a pain in the ass. So this is the more recent one where it's 1 row, still 3 resources. You can generate the types of stuff. Food is a running total and not used up to play the bird. This was an idea I had. So for example, if we go back to the bird, it says like up here that this one costs like 10 food, and say you've got like 35 food. That's just like the cap that you can go up to, but it doesn't like get consumed, is the idea on that one anyways. However, then that means eggs are used up, but they typically only cost 1 egg. So essentially you've got for that quail card that we were looking at, since this one lays 3 eggs, this would essentially equate to you being able to play at least 3 birds next round. Are the facts going to be real, or are they going to be made up like in Trombone Champ? They're gonna exist. They're probably genuinely one of the last things I'm gonna think about. But so that was the idea with those mechanics. And then some of them can draw cards. Each bird has a point value they use to get some total before the enemy bird or something like that, which is essentially like attack damage is where it ends up at. I don't think it would be themed that way, but that's essentially what it would end up as. And I have different attributes. So there's different nest types, different sizes, things like that, different rarities. So the nest types and sizes and probably regions would be like, I had this idea where, you know, in let's look up Slay the Spire shop. So in the merchant shop, right, you've got, it's kind of got like a layout like this. Get out of here, man. And I was thinking in here, you could buy like bird cards, and then you could also buy like some more permanent passive upgrades. Like, oh, your birds from North America deal, have +1 point value or something like that. Or maybe they cost 5 less food or something like that. Would be kind of like maybe the idea. So it'd push you towards like, oh, I'm going to go for a North American bird build or something like that. Are you into birds in general, like bird watching and such? I do really like birds. I'm not into bird watching currently, but I would kind of like to be. I do like birds a lot. I'll say that much. So that would be the idea, is that there'd be a shop as well that you can get cards in and probably passive effects. Depending on like nest types or bird sizes or whatever. There's even some where it was like, oh, maybe all of your small type birds also count as tiny type birds. It could have things like that as well, where they're like not necessarily always positive or not always like a strict upgrade, but they can be. Would be fun if the currency in the shop was bird seeds. That, yeah, the theming is where like I think a lot of the personality is going to come from. So the bird seeds for a shop currency is a good idea. There's also different rarities like common birds, uncommon, rare, and then boss birds like we had up here. Like, for example, these are just based off of me and my friends had a period in time where we all based our names off of different birds, right? And so mine was quail. I had one named pheasant, raven, eagle, goose, that kind of stuff. You could add rare birds, which are extinct dinosaur birds. Well, lucky for you, guess what's next on the list? Legendary cards. Legendaries might be something like a bird. So I was thinking because, okay, so well, here's the extinct ones. So you got terror birds, Archaeopteryx, great auk, dodo, passenger pigeon, that kind of a thing. These ones are fun, but then you know how like in Yu-Gi-Oh, they're like, my Egyptian god card, wow, Slifer the Sky Dragon. I was kind of like, give me my Egyptian god cards for this fucking random bird game. So I was looking up different bird deities that I could put in for these. Seems like a combination of Wingspan and Slay Spire. Yeah, that's almost exactly what I was going for. You're never escaping the nerd allegations. Yeah, it is what it is. But so I thought that would be a cool idea. So I was a big fan of that. But yeah, it's really funny that you brought up the extinct birds, like dinosaurs and stuff, because it's funny. I had that like as the exact thing. This is really fun. Hey, thank you. So then the resources, which would be relevant outside the shop, like I was talking about before, is like the food stuff. Powerful birds may cost more food. You can also use food to buy more slots. Some of this stuff is like contradictory to other things, but I never, whenever I'd come up with a new idea, I never re-updated other things. So this is all just like big idea stuff. I missed whatever you said to the thing I said because I got myself an ice cream. What was the last thing you said? Are the facts going to be real, or are they made up facts like in Trombone Champ? Is that the one that you want the answer to? Because I said I didn't know, because it would probably be like the last thing that I got around to like working on, essentially. So yeah, that's the idea. I wanted to have the ability for you to buy more like slots. So like when we were looking at face hand, obviously there's only 5 slots that you can put things in. I kind of like the idea of being able to buy more slots that you could put birds in with like a scaling price, so you can't obviously just like go sicko mode with it. But I also kind of like roguelikes where you just can break the fucking game if you want. Is the plan to have the rarity of the cards relate to the rarity of the birds IRL? Like how close to extinct they are? So it was... Pinky, in short, no. I mean, I don't know. I kind of wanted it to be like that, but also I prefer certain birds, right? Like, for example, quails are not even close to extinct, but I want it to be like a powerful card, so I don't want it to be at like common, you know? So I think it would be more freeform just based on like my vibes with the birds. The reason I followed you is because you were playing Trackmania, and I'm super into Trackmania. A game I started to make a while ago was a Trackmania-esque game where you make a track you drive on as you go, and it's a car factory where you build upgrades for your car. So when I realized I'm a massive nerd, my man likes cars. I can't really harass you about it because I'm sitting here talking about a bird-based deck builder, so... Go off, King, is essentially what I have to say about that. So this is a leftover from when I was like, eggs are probably going to be the way that you get points. And food was going to be like a separate thing. Food was maybe how you get points, and eggs was going to be like, hey, you need to pay like 2 eggs to make this bird. But then maybe more powerful ones had you also use food, but I think that's kind of a deprecated idea. Will there be card variants like foil, negative, and Balatro? Both like real life things like albino and whatever else? What were those called in Balatro? They weren't enhancements. They weren't enchantments. Were they enhancements? I had not... Enchanced. I had not thought about that before, Mar, but that's like kind of an incredible idea. So I will I'll add that to the list. You do have it based on rarity IRL, but have the quail be like an Easter egg thing. It's powerful because it's your favorite. Right, but I have a lot of favorite birds, Dee Dee. I have like a lot of favorite birds. So I don't know. I need the lore, please please share the lore on favorite birds. What lore exactly do you want? I just like birds, man. I mean, for example, oops. California, I mean, look at this motherfucker, dude. This dude is like actually just a circle with like a little hat feather. That's like the sickest thing I've ever seen. He looks so goddamn goofy. Look at this. Look at these dudes. They're so cool. And then there's the California condor. And they're just goddamn massive. These things are huge. Are you just gonna rough draft today, or are you gonna code today? I'm gonna, if I can avoid it, I'm gonna try and avoid coding on stream at all costs. So this is just rough drafting until I run out of things to talk about, and then I'm probably gonna play a game or something. California quail equals swag. It's true. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this. This dude's huge too. Let's look at the condor size. Condors are massive. Let's see, evolutionary history. Overall length ranges from 43 to 55 inches with a wingspan of 8 feet to almost 10 feet. It's insane. It's huge. Gigantic wingspan. These things are massive. It's so cool. I love that shit. And then we got my favorite like extinct birds. I love terror birds. They're so cool. Look at this motherfucker. This is just like an ostrich that has a very angry beak. It's so cool. They are so sick. Like, look at these motherfuckers.
It's so awesome. They're so cool. He looks like a penis. You look like a penis. No coding on stream, pussy. Look, Alan, you're still in school for it. I've been out of school for it for a long time. I'm rusty. Also, with the typings, I think it would be neat to have like invasive, endangered, some sort of different birds with affecting ranges. It's not a bad idea. Where's my document? So we could also put in here like endangered, invasive. That's a good idea too. You are what you eat. That's true. You want to know what else is massive? My penis. I'm sorry, I don't speak in feet. What? Flightless. So the best part of this, right, is that Wingspan has already thought about all of this shit. Melanistic? Yeah, melanistic is just like the opposite of albino, right? Show me a melanistic pheasant. Where they're just like black instead of white. Look at this. Yeah. Anyways, as I was saying, Wingspan has already thought about all this shit. So, how do I don't know how I search for flightless, but if I do like penguin, so this little penguin is flightless. Where is it? So it's got this little star for its wingspan, and that means that their wingspan counts as anything you need it to be, which not like exactly relevant for maybe what I'm doing, but they did think about flightless birds, which is a cool thing. So there's like a lot of cool different things that I can look at from Wingspan and shamelessly lift from Wingspan as well. Thought a black squirrel is just a squirrel breed. I think black squirrels are just gray squirrels. Yeah. It's a phenomenon that occurs in several species of squirrels, most frequent with the eastern gray squirrel. So they're just gray squirrels that have a black coloration to their fur. So a penguin could have a wingspan of 575,057 meters. Yes, correct. They do IRL. Yeah, that's also correct. Are you just going to have IRL birds and mythological extinct birds? Or are you going to have more weird things like robot birds, mutant birds, chimeras, other weird things for boss or legendary cards? So I'm glad you asked that, Hypnotic, because this stuff right here is maybe the most fun stuff for me to design. The goofy shit that just shows up occasionally. So you've got like your commons, like you've got sparrows and shit like here. You got like crows. You got rare cards where you're like, ooh, this is a golden eagle. Ooh, that's very exciting. Then you got your boss cards like I had before. But boss cards could also just be rare cards, or they could be legendaries. I wasn't sure if I wanted them as their own section. But we'll see. But this legendary category, that's the one I'm excited for. So stuff like that, where it's like mutant birds and robot birds and stuff like that, I really like that idea. But obviously you can't have too many of them. And I want them all to have like a cool effect that's unique to them, which is going to be harder the more of them I get, right? This game going to be more focused on the point accumulation like Bellatra, or is it going to be try to be a perfect in between? So the idea is that it's going to be like
me go back to paint. Okay. Anyways, so you do wingspan, but it's dragons instead of wings. Interesting. What could I call it? I could maybe call it something like worm span. Will there be 2 separate cards for blue-footed and red-footed tits? Yeah, sure. They're actually boobies, not tits, but tits are a different kind of bird. You do like a hand sketch art style for the birds on the cards and maybe the UI. I think that would look awesome. That would be really cool. I don't think I'm gonna end up doing like any of that shit because I am so bad at anything art related. He's bad at drawing. Thank you, Mar, for having my back on that one. Trace it, to be honest. Spelled worm or worm? W-Y-R-M. Also, this is a joke because Wormspan already exists. Wormspan is already a board game. You guys want to see something actually? Okay, so I know you guys can't see me, but I'm here. We have. I need to make my camera a little bit bigger. So we have Wingspan, right? I own Wingspan. And then here is Wormspan, the dragon one. And then the newest one that I had not gotten to play with, it's about fish, called Finspan. So, I love these games. Anyways, as much as the digital release, yeah, board games are fucking expensive as hell. You do something like energy orbs in Pokemon where you can draw things like worms and caterpillars, just as feed for your birds. Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with the well, I don't know if I want them. I want them to be more like a resource that you generate, not one that you draw from your deck, you know? So like for example, I mean, granted, this isn't a great example anymore, but so like here, instead of being like, oh, I've drawn an egg card, for example, this is just a bird that lays 3 eggs and then they go into like a little banked thing. I want to come play bird games? Hell yeah. In a non-creepy way? How bad is your eyesight? What do you mean? Oh yeah, I have the face cam over this. Yeah, so this is just like laying 3 eggs, which would just like get banked essentially instead of having to draw like an egg card, you know what I mean? In a non-creepy way? Didi, you can come play bird games at my house in a creepy way too if you want to. My eyesight is quite bad. I don't know what I did with the actual specifications of it, but it's like really bad. It's like -9.5 or something like that. So that's what I got kind of distracted by the Wormspan thing. Anyways, so and then for cards, so this is eggs was gonna be like, originally it was gonna be like the main attacking thing, but I ended up switching that to just like points. When your cam is big, it's easy to see the difference with your glasses. Yeah, it's they're thick. I can't actually see how well you can see them, but they are thick boys. And this is after I paid extra money to make them not as thick. So eggs were originally going to be the main attacking thing, but that got changed to like points, like up here. So that's a little bit different now. It's like a deck of cards, you fucker. So Shoebill is definitely going to be a boss, right? I don't know where Shoebill is going to get put in. I need to, so here's the other thing that I had opened. Here's like a bunch of different birds that I had thought of, but I don't like have effects and stuff for. This is just like the table that I had for different things. So I'll have to add to that as things go on. But and then the last thing you could do is draw cards to put in your hand. You start with like a baseline of maybe 5 in your hand. I'm not sure if you wanted to retain unplayed cards or what, but I want it to reshuffle instead of just more like Slay the Spire instead of Balatro. Make magic bird totems or something like that could enhance maybe double one bird's power for a one-time use or something. That's not a bad idea either. So originally I had down here the starter decks were gonna be like basically you've got egg statues, food statues, and card statues. I was thinking the decks would be like a specific size. So like for example, there's always going to be I don't know, for example, like maybe 20 cards in a deck. And in the starter decks, you start with a specific number of, like for example, this is the Sparrow starter deck. So in the Sparrow starter deck, you start with like, I don't know, 5 sparrows, 2 cardinals, and a single hawk or something like that. And then the rest is filled with egg statues, food statues, and card statues, which are just things that get replaced over time, but they're just like filler cards essentially at the start. But I could also have things that are non-bird cards like this be like totems, like you were saying. Yeah. Will there be consumables like in Slay the Spire? Good question. I don't know. The name being Songbird, is bird calling going to come into play? I don't know. I don't even know if the name is really Songbird. I was just like thinking about, oh, what's a bird based card game name? I don't know. Songbird sounded like kind of nice. I don't know. The name is a work in progress, but maybe instead of potions, you'd have things like worms and caterpillars and ants to boost your cards. It's true, but not all of them, not all birds eat worms and caterpillars and ants, but essentially yes, but maybe with like slightly different like theming around it, I guess. Consumables like magic worms if you go that route. It's not a bad idea. I'm gonna be honest, I drank this entire thing and I just like feel warm. I wouldn't say that I feel intoxicated or anything like that. I just like kind of feel warm. I don't know. It'd be cool if that's how you get new cards. Yeah, there's a lot of like theming things that I could do in here. It's just right now I want to get the base mechanics down, and then like for example drawing cards or whatever, like because eggs and food are just resources, but you want to theme them specifically like to birds, you know, right? So it'd be like, oh, this is the bird food and these are eggs or whatever, but they're just like standard resources right now as I'm trying to figure things out. So could this going to be a board game? This is going to be a digital game. Yeah, I don't have the budget to make a board game. The hell was that gigantic bottle? It used to be a bottle of piss. It was only filled up to like here, so don't be that worried. It used to have apple pie in it, but it does not anymore. So battles were apple pie, Alan. Let's. It's 1 liter of bottle of 190 proof grain alcohol, such as Everclear.
So it's like Everclear mixed with cider. I knew he was a piss drinker. Dee Dee, it only your piss. Your piss is the one that I want to drink. Anyways, I think for theming, you do a bird call to draw more birds. Very good theme for the game. Yeah, don't. I know. Yeah. It's. Anyways, we're moving on to the battles. I haven't figured out how I want them to work yet, but I was thinking it was gonna be kind of like that face hand thing that I showed. But this is all like kind of deprecated stuff where it was based on how many eggs, things like that. I don't know. Like, I was thinking, but I need different. I was kind of thinking that instead of just being like a health bar, it could be like a moving bar that goes back and forth, like kind of like a tug of war thing, where every round the boss or the enemy bird does something, like it generates 3 points. For like a really basic example, it generates 3 points every turn. So it keeps pushing it your way by 3 points every turn. But then more points you score, it like kind of moves the bar forward, and then it would move it back 3 points, and then it would move forward, and then move back 3 points, and then move forward again. But that's just like a hyper basic example. So here's a more, I think this is more up to date. I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh no, this is not up to date. This is like for the get food thing, but it's like a kind of a similar idea. Surely the battles would be like the ante, right? Except your opponent also has their own hand. Kind of, yeah. But, well, so I wasn't thinking that they were going to have a hand, because it was just going to be like a boss bird, right? But the bird that you're fighting has like some sort of effect, and then you'll be able to get that bird. Have you put any games on Steam before? Nope. I've never even like really finished a game. I feel like these games are tough to make because the minimum viable product is not great. You have to get a decent number of cards first to make it fun. Correct. Yeah. This is not like, this is a little bit too in depth to be like a first game thing, but I really like the idea of it. So then we were getting down into starter decks, which was going to kind of be like, let's look at, Inscription, Casey mod, starter decks. So in Casey's mod for Inscription, there's different starter decks. Jesus. Starter decks. Yeah. So, oh my God. Fandom, you're such a shit website, dude. So in their vanilla deck, they've got like just a few cards, something like that you start with. So for example, in the vanilla deck, you start with Stoat, Bullfrog, and Wolf. So you get this guy, you get this guy, you get this guy. So it's gonna kind of work like this is the idea. So like for the base starter, like X sparrows that give +1 to whatever row they're in, kind of a thing. The whatever row they're in, kind of not really relevant anymore, but I think them having their own hands would be good and open a lot of variety into the strategy. Starter decks would be different starter birds, right? As in you play as a different bird, obviously you'd have different birds. Yeah. Yes, but essentially so that you'd have, I mean, I don't know how else to explain it, a different deck that you start with that would like kind of maybe give you a direction you want to go, but you don't necessarily have to go that direction. But part of the problem are with them having their own hands is that enemy AI is like a real pain in the ass to make. So it's the less of that I have to do, the better. Because like, for example, in Slay the Spire, all of the enemies have certain patterns or like certain things that they can roll that they're going to do on their turn, right? That would be so much easier to code than having them look at their hand, analyze what the best course of action would be, and then play that course of action. I'm liking the idea, but I think it's definitely very complex and could be hard to make and explain. Correct, yeah. It's it doesn't help that this
document is kind of split between two. It's the same game, but two different ideas for the game. So it'd be a good game to work on long term, so you can while you do smaller side projects like bean needles. Yeah, as correct. Or just like have somebody else code while I do all of like this work. I want to see that. The remainder are bird statues, and bird statues are replaced when you add cards until they're gone, and then you can add more cards after that. Other starter decks, not worried about this right now, no current ideas. Great documentation. And then we kind of went over the shop stuff already. Cards, upgrades, stuff like that, and can reroll the shop. So that's kind of like the design document I have for this one. I don't really have anything made for it though. So yeah. That's kind of what you got for that one. So hopefully that all made sense. I think I had one newer version of the mock-up. Yeah, so I've got it here where I would just like put the points in here, the amount of food in here, and the amount of eggs in here. The bird art, the whatever this is called, the name, and then there are other stuff down here. Actually, I might have so I wanted to scrap songbird. How do I edit the path? Come on. I need to go into desktop, my other desktop folder again. Make the font papyrus. Look, we're just working on making it work first. Okay, so here's like the actual thing that I've got set up for the card right now. When Wingspan for the first time ever tried to understand the gameplay concept. It's not super complicated, but it takes a little bit of getting used to. I'll say that, Dee. But these are like placeholders. Shit. So you've got like one for the points, one for the food cost, one for the egg cost label. You've got the name, card effect, size, nest, area. So if we play this, I think I've got one set up so that it automatically replaces everything with the quail card. Maybe. I do, but it's not in the right spot, but you get the idea. So if I go to, oh, I don't remember how this shit works. Oh, and it was like kind of this is where I got annoyed, because to make this, like for a hand of cards, you know how you kind of like fan them out in front of you? That's like much more of a pain in the ass than you would think, because you've got to like make this curve, and then you've got to place things along the curve, and they like, it's annoying, but let's see. Yeah, so that's what I've got for that one. It's not very exciting, but that's where I'm at. That's probably my favorite one that I've got a concept for right now. Yeah. You have any other questions about that one? Or not so much? So this one was Evolution Lord. So this one was, if we go back to here, Evolution Lord is this one, the one that's most developed code-wise. So it's technically playable. It just like sucks.
but I think it can work. So right now it's you just like have all of the things right now, but so basically this is like the Vampire Survivors one where we have like an idea for like a grizzly bear attack, which is just like throwing fucking salmon. Is that the fucking turtle shell from Terraria? You fucking bet your keister it is. And so the turtle shell is would be like the turtle kind of attack, and then the original one that I did was like this spit of acid thing. Right now, getting XP, like it does stuff, but it doesn't like actually level you up. But if you press space, there's like, oh, you can unlock some sort of salmon thing, unlock peacock, unlock bear, but these don't actually do anything right now, but I can click on one. So yeah. This is the one that has like kind of a little concept to it, or actual gameplay to it. The only downside is that Godot has an issue with large masses of enemies like this all like moving and colliding into each other. So then you have to like, instead of doing move and slide where they would slide against each other, but that causes like a ton of lag. Right now they don't really slide very well against each other, but it doesn't cause like a shitload of lag, so I'll have to figure out what the hell to do with that. But yeah, so that's that game concept. And then we've got one that is more of like an actual playable game. I think making the enemy pass through each other could be better. Yeah, it's very much a work in progress, but that one's the one that I have most technically playable. But then the last one was the one that I made for a game jam. Oh, hold on. I have to go into this one. What? Import my fucking game. Oh. So this is Coinomancer. Would you look at that? It's the same sprite. How crazy. Also moving this guy around doesn't really do anything. So the idea of this game was that there was like a game jam, and so the theme was greed, and my idea was to make like a little auto battler where your coins up here are the amount of units that you have. So if you want, it costs 1 coin to give your coins 1 attack. To give them 20 HP, it also costs 1 coin. And to get 2 coins after the fight, it costs 1 coin. So you kind of want to try and get as many upgrades as you can while keeping enough guys to actually win the fight. So if I like did this or something, but it's like, it kind of sucks and I hate it. So is that the only winning game from that game jam? It is, yeah. It is. Let's just see if we can get a bunch of coins. I don't think the damage detection works super well. We lost. So that's the game. I'm just saying, Alan could never. Alan could never. L? Fuck you.
I'm just so bad.
I definitely could. Oh yeah. How did you place? How'd you place in your game jam? Lost at your own game? It's not very well balanced, I'll be honest with you. I would not say that this is a good game. I'm just like clicking things, man. See, sometimes the coins don't even fucking take damage. I don't get it. First place out of solo projects though. Yeah, I also got first place out of solo projects and first place period. So just saying. If you're wondering, yes, that is the Skyrim battle theme in the background. So there you go. There's that one. That's kind of covers all of my ideas. I guess we didn't do this one, but this newest idea, a dope thing to hear about. It's super dope. Thank you. It's, to be fair, it was a game jam with my friends, and none of us knew how to make games, so it's not really that impressive, but you'll hate it. I mean, sure, if you want to send it to me, I'll play it. Like, do you want me to play it on stream or what? You want to see this one? This one doesn't like have anything about it. I was thinking about turning the Songbird one into something more like this. So the idea of this one was, I don't know if I'm actually going to combine the two, but the Pokemon TCG Pocket. I wasn't expecting you to say, yes, I can't lie. Give me 5. Hey, I mean, if you don't want to send it, that's fine too, whatever. So the way that this one works, it's very like basic. So you've got like 3 guys in the background, 1 fighting, you get energy each round, and you've got to get 3 points, and these strong EX cards, yeah, that doesn't really work, count as multiple points. So it'd be kind of something neat like this, where you have this style of, I'm on Facebook, man. You hate to see it. But like that kind of very simple gameplay. Is everyone here like fucking cool or what? No. They're not, but feel like I don't belong at this lunch table? Nah, these people fucking suck. Don't worry. So Pokemon TCG, what is the Game Boy Color game? So if I go here, this is Christ, man. So if I go here, it's kind of like, I like how this one looks, like mega old style. So it'd be kind of fun to have more of the, like, kind of like this style look with more of this style gameplay. Because this is very simple. Like the decks are 20 cards total, and you can only have 2 copies of specific cards. So it'd be kind of fun to like play through a game like this with very simple mechanics and make it into like a little roguelike thing. I think Songbird idea with that retro style could be interesting. That's what I was, part of my idea was that I was turning it kind of into this kind of thing. So it was between this idea or that style, and so there's also Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG Game Boy Color. So this one also had like kind of a similar look to it. Something like this. So I also liked how this looked. Now that we've gone through all your ideas about how about you brainstorm some of our ideas? I don't know about that. Yo, what's going on, Miss Sky? I hope you're doing well, Lunar. But this kind of looked cool too. So something between these would be cool. But then there's also the Inscription Act 2 cards, which maybe look closer to what I would want my actual cards to look like, if that makes sense. Bro, is there not like a way I can just like put this in its really? Not like exactly like this, but more like where it's got like more stats on the card itself versus like these ones where it's just the art and then it's over like here on the side. Or maybe I could combine them where it's like you just like get to see the art in some screens, but then when you're going through your deck, you see them more like this where they're the full cards. I don't know. A pixel card game where all of the cards just have random pixels colored on the card.
and their scions is that you can trade and sell your cards if there's cool shapes or stuff on the card. I don't know about that. I mean, it sounds unique for sure. Never mind, I take it back. Mars instantly like, nah, I'm out. Doing good. How about you? I'm doing swell. It's been a minute since we've talked. He also drinks piss. Also bald. He's ginger. You owe me a soda? Okay. Thanks, guys. There's also one picture I saw. Let's see if I can find it. This one, where it's like, this was kind of cool to me. Can I like make this bigger? No, I guess not. It's kind of like a mixture between Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! I kind of love how this looks, to be completely honest with you. I love how this looks. So I was thinking maybe could I do this, but like with birds? But then I'm like, are birds exciting enough for that to be like, I'm going to put like some low resolution quail artwork in here for Blue Eyes White Dragon. It would be certainly easier than thinking of like every, like all sorts of new creatures and stuff to put out, but. Or to make and design and things like that, but I don't know. So that's kind of like the idea of that other one anyways. I'm waiting for Alan to send me your game, but she's taking forever. I really want to talk about my game idea since I think it's mechanically is really cool. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm just like vibing right now, so whatever you want to do. Should I get another drink? I mean, I feel like I drank all that apple pie and I didn't get drunk, so yeah, maybe I should have more to drink. You ever think about that? It's a good idea, right? Didn't get drunk. I think small miniatures of the birds could also be good to leave more space for stats. That could be cool. Like, oh, at the same time, it feels like you could fit like a lot of stats over here on like this little side part, you know? Rather than like action poses of birds. I could be too. I could just like also skip the bird idea and just like make some creature designs. Forgot Discord has a file limit. Just zip it, man. Just zip the file and send that to me. Oh, I think I missed Mars' idea. That he wanted to drink my piss. It's true. I did say that. Yeah. I regret saying it, but I did say it. I think you've heard it already, but I thought of a game that's kind of like a mix between Inscription and that one VR horror duck hunt. I have not heard of this. What the fuck are you talking about? Twitch asked if I wanted to say that. And you hit yes, so. Yikes. It is zipped? I guess you're gonna have to pay for Nitro, homie. I love spoiled apple pie in a bottle that was previously filled with human piss. Hell yeah. So like, that's just a sober thought. You know, actually, now that you mention it, yeah, I'm blasted out of my mind. Just keep iterating on Coinomancer. You already have a framework set. Yeah, but I want to make a different game.
Sticking to one project is going to be a really big issue for me, I think. Trailer for Megan 2. A day of Nitro for watching? What? That's so whack. Basically, I had the idea where the main mechanic is messing around with the cartridge, like what speedrunners do to corrupt their game. Oh. So... that's actually really interesting. How would you implement that into like the game though? How do you... that's a cool concept, you're right. But I'm not sure how you would... so you're a boy who wakes up in a room and all you have in front of you is a Game Boy, obviously not exactly, yep. And a VCR TV. I don't think VCR TV is really what that... I think you're thinking of CRT TV, but put it on itch.io. Sent a link. Okay. Password is bald. Okay, thanks. Invalid password. It's capital B bald. No, I'm not paying you for this shit. Where's the... no thanks, just take me to downloads. Get yoked. Hello? Okay. I'll do it myself. Why are you opening on this monitor? Hello, Alt F4 to quit because I haven't made the thing yet. Okay. Can we put it on this monitor if I open it over here? Okay. Alan! Is it so hard to just like make a game that launches on the correct monitor? Alt enter. Yeah. Hoping I could just like get it to not be in the wrong spot. I mean, I would guess game developers, it would be best for them to have the game open on your main monitor, I guess, but maybe that's just like a me thing. I don't know. Maybe they don't teach that in school for Alan anymore. I don't know. 3D room, but your character is playing as 2D. Obviously, it wouldn't be like actually random. It'd be high IRL. You mess up the game as you're supposed to go to. Yeah, that'd be a cool game. I think coding it would be a nightmare. The game is super duper early in development. Don't judge me. Okay. I'm turning the music back on. Yep, game sucks. Nobody ever support Alan again. So bad. This is maybe the worst game I've ever played in my life. Okay, I got it this time. You know, Alan, I think you might be onto something when you said you're gonna hate this game. Holy shit, why am I so fast now?
If it makes you feel better, literally nobody has cleared the first level first try. They've all done what you did.
That doesn't make me feel that much better. I feel like my controls are more sensitive in the second level.
The acceleration is off the chart in the second level. This is not what it was like the first time. You can't convince me otherwise. El Bozo, fuck you, Silent Fox. The acceleration does not change. Yeah, whatever you say. You stinky hoe. Oh! Oh no. What is this acceleration bullshit? You just called a child a stinky hoe? Ah, shit. I meant like the farming tool. Gonna hate the 4th level. I'm gonna be honest with you, Alan. I already like hate what I'm looking at here. I can't look. Is there any way for me to like look to the side? No? Okay. Guess we're just sending it. Fuck this game.
I'm just so bad.
I want to watch Spirit play Get to Work. No. There's only 4 levels, by the way. Okay, well, I'm beating the game then. I think I can just hold forward here to make it to the end of this one. I think I can, folks. I think I can. Okay, so we want to just like lightly go over the edge here. And then accelerate. Is that what you wanted me to do, Mar? Because that looks way better than what I did. Just so we're clear. Start accelerating from the top of the platform, dumbass. That is, I mean... I did what you said. And it seems an awful lot like I got nowhere. In essence. Yeah, that's right. Change your fucking spelling. I'm not allowing that one or the other one through, Pinky. Yeah, I've got an idea. It's not that you can't say pants. You can't say pants grab. Holy, he's pissed. Fuck you, Silent Fox. It's not that. You didn't see that I did it wrong. You have to like get the big boost here. I wasn't expecting to play fucking monkey ball today. So I was kind of hoping that I could just, I needed, Alan, I beat your fucking level. Where's the 4th level, Alan? Nice game. Sick game, Alan. Going to school for game development, by the way. Yikes. Automatic spider mace build to work? Oh, hell yeah. That's what we're talking about. This is just armadillo run, not gonna lie. Wait, what did I... Game will be great when it's finished. Make it have a UI and a time counter. It's good to go. Nope. Game sucks, actually. So, joke's on you. Game sucks. Game's bad. After I conquer Alan's game, I'm playing something else. You have a survival Minecraft world or hate Minecraft? Are those the only two options? Patch version is up. I gotta download this shit again. Maybe I shouldn't. There's like probably nothing in here, but like... Nah, it's fine. Hello? Download? I don't hate Minecraft, but I also don't have a survival server. Terraria supremacy, that's also incredibly true. Hey, it actually opened. Let me just real quick beat the game again. Let me just first try all this shit. Ball is so fucking sensitive, man. Like my goddamn testicles, at how sensitive it fucking is. My depth perception doesn't exist. My depth perception does not exist. Your testes what? Oh god. I would like to move the camera. First thing I'd do is your mom. Deserved. Nero? Shut your goddamn mouth. When are you going live, you little shit? This is Alan's game, by the way. Nero, you missed me talking about... You missed me talking about all my own actual good ideas and now we're playing Alan's fucking teenager shit tier slop. Sorry, Alan, I don't mean that.
I'm just so bad.
This is not just the 4th level, Mar. This is the final level. You wouldn't get it. I'm gonna get graded on this one, by the way. Hope you're ready to not go to college, honey. Where's the fucking end even at? I'm sacking this one. I need to find out where it's at. You telling me I never had to move over at all? Can I cheat the system? Hold. Everybody hold up. I'm cheating the system. I don't know if I can cheat the system. Okay, new idea, new plan. No!
I beat this one every like 20 attempts by the way, and I played this level often while testing. A friend of mine beat it first try.
Alan, with all due respect, who asked? Just out of curiosity, who was it that asked? Because I don't think it was me. Just for clarity's sake, I don't think it was really me that asked or cared about any of that. I did, Alan. Wrong, Alan. I asked. Pretty quick here. I'm gonna ask your ass to get banned. Never mind. I have this one under control. Recoverable! Recoverable! It was right there. It was right there. It's just because the ball is so sensitive, man. You want help? Fuck you, Alan. I know how to do it.
I'm just so bad.
I was one too early. I know how to do it. I know how to do it. I know how to do it. Oh my God. You're the sensitive one, mate? Yeah, tell that to your womanly sensibilities. Am I right, guys? Any other men thinking what I'm thinking? Women wouldn't be able to handle running a country. Fuck. What that tongue do? Don't talk to me. Unless you've got Dee Dee's piss, I don't want to speak to you. I'm gaming right now.
Don't worry buddy, just wait until the game is finished and you have to do more than just roll around. I've got moving platforms and other random shit planned to make this as annoyingly difficult as possible. I could beat this first try, get good.
Anyone else want to do a text-to-speech? Anyone else want to get their ass permanently banned? Anyone? Just, I mean, go ahead. Go ahead. Try me. I banned 2 people already. I'll do it again.
L.
I can beat it. This is it. The game's not even hard. Game's not even hard. Check this out. I can beat it without my glasses even. Okay, I can't. that was a fake one for content. Jank ass physics. It's like right here, right? I can't see where the home row is. I might cry. You guys might see a grown man cry on stream. Okay, it's like here. I had too much speed. Do I need to roll off the other side?
We got this. You've never seen someone so calm and serene playing a ball rolling game. So it's like right here. You think I roll off? Which way do you think I roll off? Do you think I have to roll off towards or back? We haven't tried this way yet. I'm fucking it. I'm fucking it. I'm fucking it. I threw it so hard. I threw it so hard.
Have you tried landing in the wind zone?
Mars, so help me God.
Are you trying to be diverse, or can you genuinely not roll in a straight line?
Okay, everybody shut up. I need to think. So which way was the... So I almost got it when I went back, but I bounced off on this side of this thing.
Joke.
I did choke. I did choke. I actually did choke. He said choke and then I choked. Oh my god, he actually said choke and then I choked. Oh my god. Oh. It was so easy. I was there. I had it.
Can we get some francs in the chat for that one? Mr. Spirit, can I get my mod back, please?
Why would I give you your fucking mod back? Okay, so it was about here.
Mod me so that I can ban Alan for making this game.
I already banned her once. Nobody fucking say anything. Nobody say anything. Nobody say anything. Oh, I'm throwing. I'm panicking. I can't be panicking.
Anything.
Okay, okay.
I'm just so bad.
Miss.
Spirit 538L Streamer, Spirit 538L Streamer, Spirit 538 LMAO.
I'm just so bad.
Remember when you were good at video games?
Good dumbass physics,
Can I
look
get
at
my
that.
mod back so I can make a prediction?
No! Fuck you, man. Alan can't get it back. You can't get it back. Silent Fox, I don't even know if he has it. Y'all are dead to me. You're sending my blood pressure through the roof. Get fucked, Alan! You suck! Your game is bad, you should feel bad! See you later, assholes!
SpiritWeasel, more like me Tweasel, Spirit 538 LMAO, Spirit 538 L Streamer, Spirit 538 L Streamer, Spirit 538 L Streamer, Spirit 538 L Streamer, Spirit 538 L Streamer.
Oh my god, he did it, he's actually cracked.
I'm actually the greatest to ever play video games in my entire life.
Anyway, I would have just done that first try.
You know why you're not getting your mod back, Mar? You want to know why? Just take a shot in the dark. Take a shot in the dark and see if you can understand why you might not be getting it back. Okay, and now can I get a summary of how you felt during that game and what you might have improved on in the final version? No swearing, please. Okay, yeah, so I would say that the okay, do you want like an actual review or like a meme review? I didn't ask for my mod back. Oh, is that Alan? Oh, all of the above. Okay, so the meme review, the game fucking sucks. Let me tell you what, that shit's so bad.
The only thing that needs to improve is the player.
The game is so bad. Isn't it past Alan's bedtime? That's what I'm wondering. Maybe she should get more sleep. Maybe go out, touch some grass instead of making whatever the fuck this was. It's would I pay money for that? No, you couldn't pay me money to play that. Actually, you like kind of did pay me money to play that, but you get the idea. Anyways, real review. I think it's I think the base is good. I think it the ball physics could use a little bit of work. It's a little awkward to try and control. Like it feels like it accelerates just a little bit too much or too fast. So, and in a game like this,
world record when?
That was literally the world record. I think in a game like this, you need the ball controls to be good, or feel good. And I think right now the physics just feel like slightly off. Like for example, on that last one, it maybe feels like I shouldn't be able to just like go up and over things like this as easy as I am. But it's I think the base is fine. Granted, there's only a few levels, so the level design is like a little hard to judge. I think they're fine for the most part. Being able to see like a larger, like for example right there, I should have not been able to come in here. Also, I probably shouldn't be able to like stick to the walls like that. So you might want to make the ball a little bit less acceleratable, I guess, if that makes sense. You might also want an option to move the camera around a bit more, or maybe that's part of the game, I guess, I don't know. But it feels like not knowing where you're going in a game like this makes it a little tough. And also the depth perception thing on the 4th level is a little bit wonky to deal with. Because it kind of looks like I'm supposed to move over, but also it's just like just a very tiny amount, but it's hard to tell that.
Don't forget to mention the drop shadow.
There's a shadow. Okay, actually, yeah, never mind. There needs to be a drop shadow, so you know where you're actually going. Unless you might be trying to make a rage bait game, in which case, go off, queen, you're winning. So, I don't know. Those are my, like, kind of thoughts. There's probably more things to it that you could do, but I think the base is solid. One thing I would say when you are starting, it feels like everything's slightly slanted or the ball is just like kind of moving on its own. So it's, I would recommend maybe making it so it doesn't move until like the player starts doing stuff, but that's a pretty small thing. The camera and the depth perception is intentional too. Game is supposed to be like get to work and getting over it. Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. In that case, I'm not the target audience, but it seems like it could be a decent game. Hopefully that that counts for your like schoolwork review thing. Nero just went live? Oh hell yeah. I got it now. You're not the target audience, you're just the target. Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense. That makes sense. You got me there. It's not bad though. I've definitely seen worse games. Where's the scantily clad babes in the game? Yo, that's a good point. In the ball that's in the game, you should I can't send it to him. It's not my game to distribute. You should potentially put like a very attractive woman inside the ball, kind of like monkey ball, but make it like a sexy babe. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else know what I'm saying? You guys got me? You following me? Plays the "you're bad" sound effect. That's pretty good. Make a ball a rolling boob. That's a good idea. Go to Alan's itch page. I never played Milk the World Dry. Absolutely hate the name, but go off. Never played Frankenstein, but like worse, or like way worse. Tab up Nero. What are you doing? Motherfucker, what do you think I'm doing? I have him tabbed up. What? With titty physics? That's a good idea. Put a very attractive woman inside the ball and make it a sexy babe is going in my project. Hell yeah. Tab him up again. I'm waiting for him to like actually finish like going live, I guess. Can't have enough tabs. Well, I can have like one. Doesn't really do a whole lot. Alan, real question. Tab me up for no real reason. Okay, I got you. What does it take to make like a an itch page? So like I feel like I've got one. How do you get back over here? Maybe I don't have one. Well, I know I do have one. I just what is the fucking password? Okay, game. Howdy. Yo, what's going on, Bear Subs? I'm not even tabbed up. Do you stream? Hey, have a good walk, Obese. I hope it serves you swell. Let me open up my key pass. Hopefully this does not open on my main monitor when I type this in. It did not. Pog.
what is I have a 3D VTubing model of one of my old D&D characters in a maid dress. I could do that. Holy shit. Alan, I'm gonna need you to wait till you're 18 to do that because I don't... You cannot trust me around anime women. Let me let me put it that way. What is this fucking thing called? Itch? Did I never save what my password was? Why are you question marking me? You all know that you're the same. Gooner? Yeah, that's pretty true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's pretty true. Where's my GitHub account? Why you stop question marking me, man? Why you like this? Bro, I swear to God, I have an itch account. There are no accounts with that email address. Okay, feels good. Oh, it's the other email. Fuck you. Okay, well, I guess I'm not gonna log into that right now. I actually feel like I'm quite safe around minors, so yeah. Well, it's not the minor part irrelevant. It's the... I just came back to stream. We beat Alan's game. Let me say that. We beat Alan's game. We're built different. I'm not gonna reset that. However, I think I am done for today. So I'm gonna raid Nero. He's a swell guy. He actually worked in games. He's Scottish. He's very swell. He's getting up there in followers. So if you're following me, be sure to follow him. Should do a clip review for Hypnotic. No. So hopefully you enjoyed learning about my games. Thanks for going through all that stuff. And I will see you guys some other time. Bye everyone.